Chair, fellow speakers, although I was 21 at the time, the memory of this event is crisp in my mind today, as if it was yesterday. After 2 hours pounding the continental motorway, a ferry crossing and another 125 or so miles over winding tarmac, my father and I finally arrived. We bumped over the cattle grid, through the gate posts, which had a simple wooden plaque with the word Brockwood by the coach house. My excitement built as we drove up the almost straight single track lane to what would be my residence for a week. The verdant grass unfurling before me not only fed the sheep that punctuated the landscape, it was a feast for my eyes, and it nourished my soul. Despite the fact I had never been there before, the sight of the oak trees with outstretched, voluptuous branches felt like they were welcoming me to what for the first time really felt like home. I now understood what William Blake called the green and pleasant land. I was engulfed by a desire I had never experienced before. I'm staying whether they want me or not, poured out of my mouth and into my father's ears. This was how my week's trial at an international boarding school in Hampshire began. This is no ordinary boarding school, though. The majestic lime-washed walls of the house with its symmetrical oblong windows and its magnificent grounds is probably more akin to what you would think of as a Georgian National Trust property. And you could be right, because trust turns out to be a key player in this story. Class sizes are generally ranging from 1 to 10 students. As part of the education process, staff, teachers and students live together as a community and partake in handling all aspects of running the school, from harvesting and preparing 3 meals a day, to organising end-of-term concerts, right through to cleaning the toilets on a daily basis. After I said goodbye to my father and unpacked my bag, it was time to experience what turned out to be a sumptuous vegetarian lunch. I helped myself from a range of about 10 hot and cold dishes. I took my metal plates to the longest dining table I had ever seen. I sat and gazed at the dark wood panelling. Feeling somewhat overwhelmed by the splendour of everything around me. Quickly the dining room began to fill, and a gentleman sat on my left. "Welcome to Brockwood. I'm Scott. What led you to want to join Brockwood?" said the man in an American accent. "It's a means to fulfill my desire to live in England and to improve my English writing skills. And I was taken by the founder's words when he described the difference between attention and concentration, I answered. The fact my previous school reports complained about a lack of concentration and that it would not be frowned upon here was of great relevance to me. "What is your role here?" I asked. "I'm the principal," I heard. Instantly, my body froze, and yet I also began to burn inside as my heart was pounding wildly and I was struggling to breathe. I was surprised he was sat equal to all the students and the other staff members. Past experience had led me to fear authority. I felt judged. Yet, until I knew his position, I was perfectly comfortable in his presence. And now I felt like a gibbering wreck. This was an example of the founder's words put into action. The pupil and the teacher are the same. My first lesson about the impact of punishment, hierarchy and conditioning. I'm very grateful that at the end of my week I was accepted and would spend the next 3 years in this amazing school called Brockwood Park. Little did I know it would provide me not only with what I wanted, but also what I needed to thrive in life. I would learn about values, respect, responsibility, cooperation, compassion, and a great deal about myself. It gave me the opportunity to spend 4 weeks in India visiting 4 other Krishnamurti schools and meeting our American counterparts. During our time there, we explored our relationship to nature, to technology, to others, and to ourselves. I then spent 3 weeks travelling on my own, and this proved to me that I would be able to live a life on my terms and do better than just survive. I began to accept myself and others for who they are. I would discover that their opinions are as important as mine, something I had not experienced as a child. 2 months before I left, I met my husband-to-be, and this was the ultimate lesson of trust and relationship. As the lyrics go, what a difference a day makes.